You need to, like this is prime content right
Prime
here.
nutritional
So
education.
yes, nutritional education. It would only be better if we had Clay on here, so we'd call it Cooking with Clay.
Oh,
But
yes. Clay, we're missing you right now.
we are. So this guy gets on here and he says that dairy and I think even some grains or whatever, when you eat that stuff, especially together, it creates
cottage cheese.
I'm going to mess this up. What would you gonna say?
Cottage cheese?
No, like opiates. It like creates a compound in your system similar to an opiate. And so like people that don't feel good and they go eat things like dairy and cheese and stuff when they don't feel good, they're doing that because they're basically drugging themselves.
Do you get high?
I mean, I would imagine you would have to eat like a lot, and I'm not going to eat a cheese wheel. But that's what the guy said. And I looked it up and apparently it's true. So it's not exactly an opiate, but it is a compound that your body interprets very similar to an opiate. So I thought that was interesting.
I didn't know that. That is pretty interesting.
The AI overview. Yes, eating milk and grains can produce compounds in the body called exorphins.
Exactly.
That mimic the effects of opiates by binding to opioid receptors. While not the same as pharmacological, I can read, drugs like morphine, these peptides can cause addictive tendencies, brain fog, and mood issues in some people. Some people. Could be you. So be careful about
it's me.
Gotta be careful with those milk and grains. So whenever I'm literally pouring milk into like granola,
yeah,
that explains a lot.
Yeah, milk and cookies.
Oh, come on.
Poor Santa Claus.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's actually how he makes it through the night.
That's what I would do. I mean, if I knew that. Sure.
Wow.
No cocaine, milk and cookies.
The things.
Turns out there's a reason you can shove the man down a chimney.
It's incredible. It's incredible. We didn't know any of this.
You're welcome. You can all suffer along with me with this burden of knowledge now.
Wow.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch out now.
Welcome to the CWC podcast with your hosts, David Selby, Andy Horton, and Savannah Smith.
Yeah.
We're turning milk and cookies into morphine, guys.
That's
I don't know how. I don't know what better of a hook you could give.
Today on the CWC podcast, we're going to show you how to turn milk and cookies into opioids. Stick around.
Flagged.
Yeah. Flagged. And showed in. Everybody's going to be asking where the show went.
Muted.
I was going to say a couple episodes back, you talked about how, you never have a beard, and now you've caught up. You've got a beard.
I just cut most of mine off.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm never going to catch up to Andy, but I think your recent trim might have brought me in.
This was today because my barbershop lady broke her butt and was like, she got thrown off of her horse and broke. And
she like literally broke it.
Literally, yes.
Like
turns out
tailbone or
you can't do a lot with a broken butt. Like it's connected to everything, as it turns out. And I think she just got back today, so I went and saw her. And
I think my butt is broken in two.
I promise you it's not.
Yeah. You have a crack in it?
Yeah, it's got a crack in it. Well, she had a couple. So, but anyway, she came back today, so I went and saw her. That's B&B Cowboy Cuts and Razor Shaves, for those asking, and she is going to the Chuckwagon races.
I was going to ask if she was still going to be able to make it.
Yep, she's going to be at Whiskey Ridge, Baker-Spain, and Clinton. So,
Andy, you got to come get in view. Show off the nice cut. We'll just full frame it.
It does look good.
Yeah. Everyone see Andy's nice beard, those clean lines. You could have that too.
Yeah,
grow it out to Whiskey Ridge, and we'll shape it down.
There you go. Grow it out to Whiskey Ridge. Go see Jacqueline at her trailer, and she will take care of you. And she is a supporter of the show. I walk in there and there's like Chuckwagon channel stickers and koozies and stuff stuck in her mirror for everybody to see
awesome.
that comes and sits in her chair. So
that's
pretty
great.
cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
She should get a TV and just loop some races.
Ooh, yes. Was there a
go.
TV in there? If there was, there wasn't anything. I don't think there was anything on it, but we got to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got to,
It could be done.
We need to get her like a complimentary subscription with like a little Starlink mini or something.
I thought you were going to say a complimentary TV.
I'll do that. I don't care. I'll
That's
get
an
her a
idea.
TV.
Okay,
Some good
Andy's
ideas.
got the TV. David, you get the subscription. I will continue editing the races. We are sold.
Well, if you made it this far, welcome back to the CWC podcast, your home for the latest news, rumors, and updates in the sport of chuckwagon racing. I'm your host, David Selby, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Andy Horton and Savannah Smith. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Good to see you. This week, we are going to be joined by the founder of the Southeast Chuckwagon Racing Association, Jeff Clark, who is here to not only discuss next weekend's race at Tuscumbia, Alabama, which is a sanctioned race for the Arkansas Association, but he's also going to shed some light on the SCWRA and his vision for this new league that is based out of east of the Mississippi. So I can tell you, based on my conversations with Jeff, it's going to be a really fun show. So stick around.
So what is the SCWRA? Is that the Southern Chuckwagon Racing Association or this
Southeast Chuckwagon Racing
Southeastern Southeast.
SECWRA was just one letter too much. We kept it
SEC
short.
got too. SEC would be like I think SEC would be kind of fun, but obviously we'd be playing on some sports competition
some
there.
hard trademark stuff.
Probably
wouldn't be able to weasel our way into that one. But
probably.
Before we get too far into this, make sure you go over and you subscribe, relive the ride at Chuckwagon.Channel.com. It is $11 a month or $99 a year. We just now put out our 5th episode of 7 for season 3 of the Great Wagon Race, Big Mules Up the Hill. So we're getting into it here. I've been hearing some good feedback, so I think people are liking it. And we're excited. We're kind of on the home stretch here. It's kind of crazy to think like two more Saturdays and the whole show will be out there. So it's exciting.
Speaking of shows being out there, we've got some big news. Building Spain Season 1 will be premiering on the Cowboy Channel and Cowboy Channel Plus this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you're like my parents and you still have a DVR or a cable or something where you press the guide button and all the shows come up, set your DVR to record if you're not home. Or get you a subscription to the Cowboy Plus, and you can see everything that it has went into last year leading up to the Baker-Spain Stampede, all of those new buildings that everyone saw when they arrived, and much, much more.
Nice. Going big.
Yeah. Exciting things.
And
and we're going to drop the trailer now.
Boom.
Being a farmer in general is a gamble. Josh is not afraid to roll the dice.
He's made a lot of big moves that people just don't have the guts to do. I wouldn't have bet my farm on something like this.
I'll risk it all, every bit of it. You don't think we can accomplish something, you just sit back and watch. The naysayers, I took that as ammunition and fire, and I went after it.
When the gates opened on Monday, we had as many people here the first day as we had the whole first year when we first started this.
Whenever we first started off, we weren't that big, so we were getting local talent to come out. This year, Whiskey Myers.
We've never sold that many pit passes before, ever. Not even close.
The bigger the name, the more people that come out to want to watch.
If we give them more, they're going to come earlier. We can get the bigger artists. We can have 4 nights of bigger acts.
Everybody wants to put on a show, but you don't know what it takes to actually do it.
Now that we're established, we've proven ourselves, word's got around in Nashville that we have a very good reputation there.
We have events starting on Monday, so it's a full week packed full of everything.
It's in the lights in New York, the hills of LA. Everybody got their own honky-tonk way. Down to Carolina and up to Idaho. They all want some port swinging, picking on that banjo. It ain't just here or there, I see country everywhere.
When we went back all the way to 1866 is when we can find the first Spain that was related to Josh owning part of the goat ranch. There were several different Spains that owned little spots of it, but no one kept very much of it very long.
My great-great-grandfather, he said he lost it to the bank for a few $100.
About 80% of the people that owned it lost it to foreclosure.
There's just so many people that have owned this property that have got themselves in financial trouble. It's really a scary thing to think about, honestly.
We are a big believer in helping people try to be delivered from addiction. What I feel like my purpose is to shine a light on this issue that is in every community in the United States. We have so much destruction because of drugs. It's actually heartbreaking when you hear most of the stories, and it changes the way that you look at the whole world.
Right before the Stampede, there was 25 or 30 people out of the halfway houses working down here.
We'll rent these out and we'll just donate that money to a recovery home. We support them and their mission to bring people out of addiction.
The Wednesday night church night is what we call it.
This place is just packed with people out of recovery homes, and it's a powerful night.
There's nothing more powerful than watching somebody's chains be broken. There's just nothing more powerful.
I just remember looking and just seeing all the people and being like, oh my goodness, are we ready for this?
Whiskey Myers, it was more of the party crowd. As much as it sounds fun, when you're the owner, that's not a fun night.
And all of a sudden I hear a call come over the radio.
404 to all Baker-Spain units. South Greenfield is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and it looks like it's going to be ugly.
Everybody's accounted for. This is out of control. This is not part of my vision.
When you come here, it's not just an event. It's not just a rodeo. It's an experience of a lifetime that changes lives.
I want them to leave inspired and lifted up and know that they have a purpose. If you know you're supposed to be doing something, you go at it. Everything. Pour it all in there. I will never quit on something that I believe in. I will fight for it.
And we're back from the trailer. I hope you really enjoyed that. And don't forget, also this Saturday, we will have another episode of the Great Wagon Race. It'll be the 6th of 7, 6 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you check it out on the Chuckwagon channel. I recommend, for those of you that are not subscribed, go to chuckwagonchannel.com and subscribe there. We did get a whole overhaul rebuild on our Roku app because there were some issues with people signing up. So for those of you that had to go through that, I appreciate your patience, and we did have the app completely re-uploaded and resubmitted. So hey, speaking of the Great Wagon Race, though, we are a mere 4 months and change from going back to the national championship Chuckwagon races in Clinton, Arkansas. So you know what that means, Andy?
Are we doing a season 4?
We're doing season 4, the Outrider. We've talked about it a little bit. We've hinted at it, but that is what we're going to be doing, and we're committed to it at this point. So if you can think of an Outrider that maybe would fit the mold of being a super duper star in the Great Wagon Race, we're going to want to know about that. But we obviously have people we've been looking at. I did want to ask you guys on the show today, who comes to mind for you when you think about like the model outrider, or who are maybe a couple of outriders that come to mind?
I'm gonna let Savannah go first.
Go,
I
Savannah.
was about to let you go first. What a
Ladies
gentleman.
first.
Fine, I'll go. Fine, I'll go first. I don't care. Okay.
I am not a gentleman. I will go first.
No. All right. So far in all of these seasons of this series that we have done, there has been a lot of focus on the historical aspect of it. We've gone back and got a lot of footage, and they say that, like your first impression of something, of an experience, is always your biggest. And I came into this thing 2016-ish, somewhere around there. And so I've got like my OGs that I was watching like back then, and a lot of them are not going anymore. And one of the biggest names in there, one we know really well, was Zane Seals. That dude was a freaking stud when it came to outriding. He outrode for like multiple teams at some of the other races, and like that dude absolutely got it on. He even ran against my dad more than in a race. Yeah, that guy. Of course, I mean, Opie. There's another one.
Yeah, Opie.
Opie was
Wes
a hoss.
Brines. Wes Brines.
Yep. Yeah, he was good. And of course, Ben Hartwick's still out there getting it on too. I mean, Ben Hartwick is, that dude has got
I
ahead.
actually just edited a short with him from
Yeah.
11 Point this last year, where he slings up on the red horse and takes off.
Yeah, he's full cowboy.
Dude is
Full
no
send.
joke, and really, keeps his head in the middle of the race. Like that dude has navigated through some holes, and I'm above him with the drone. And I remember one year at Baker-Spain, I said, "You are crazy." I was like, "You are absolutely nuts." And he was like, "Well, I kind of got in a spot there." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of did." Yeah.
Yeah, some of those guys, they will definitely tell you where not to run. And then you'll watch them do it, and they'll go run the
there.
gap that they said, don't run that gap, but then they'll go do it, and they'll rock
Exactly.
it,
Do as I say, not as I do.
So who comes to mind for you, Savannah?
Oh, bless. So I think it would be really cool to go back and do some interviews and find out who the outriders were in the early to mid 2000s, like who kind of set the stage for the younger crew that we see coming in now, like Cody Bean and JD Pennington. I know that my cousin Philip was really big back in the day, and there are rumors that he may have been one of the reasons why there's limitations on how many teams you can run with at Clinton. Emphasis on rumors. But like I said, I think it would be really cool to go back and kind of do like, outriders through the decades. Who comes to mind for some of these older generations? Who comes to mind kind of for that midpoint, and then who's stepping into the spot now, present day?
Yeah, man, there's a million different ways we could tell the story of the outrider this year. I do think that the historical piece is just wide open. I mean, season 1 of the Great Wagon Race, I think we did go back to a piece that we did in a previous year about the outrider, and it specifically just kind of hit on that role and showed highlights of like really, you see a lot of mishaps. You just see a lot of things go wrong there because they have all the pressure in the world on them to perform, and they also have like just this really hard job right there at the line that I think personally, it's just like it requires a lot of true athleticism and timing to be able to keep the stove on the ground, keep the reins in your hand for your horse, keep your feet on the ground, and stay with your wagon as it's rolling forward if you're trying to be a contender anyway. And then when the gun fires, you actually throw the stove in and do all these things to mount and get around and actually catch up. And you just see how there can be so many steps that somebody's trying to juggle, and you can watch it on their face where there's like crap, and then something goes wrong. It's just trying to have too many balls in the air that you're juggling. And that's why you see these guys with the experience, and they've done it so many times. They've got that confidence, and I think that that's a big piece of it. So just going into that and peeling back the layers on that element of racing this year, I think we're ready to do that. I think people that have watched the first 3 seasons will be ready to do that. And then I think that it educates a viewer to where they can now become more interested in just the race within the race that's happening, So it's so fascinating. But I think that when I think about people, I think you honestly hit on a couple of the big ones to me. I'm excited to maybe ask some of those deeper questions to Opie, Wes Brines, and Ben Hartwick, some of these guys that I kind of consider to be, in my time going down to the championships, some OGs, some guys that have done it, that have had some big success, and that have seen kind of the years go by, that they've just been pretty steady, But, like going into last year, I think I was really excited on the County Line Bunch story for the Classic, because they're coming in and they had a super fast team all year long throughout the circuit through the ACWRA. They definitely had a team that could have got it done at the national championships, but it was proof that if you don't have everything go right on your team, that it may just not work out, and the fastest team doesn't always win. So they had JD Pennington, who, if you're putting your money down on the table to bet, you're probably going to put all of it on JD because he's been so successful. But when you go to Clinton, there is an experiential factor, and there is something about just being on that big of a stage that it definitely affects some things, And so I'm excited to question people like JD Pennington, who had to kind of go through a year like last year where he had come back and he wins it with Full Throttle Loca in the buckboard. But then you step into this whole other arena, if you will, with the Classic, and they couldn't get it done. They just couldn't get it done. And so, I think it's going to be super interesting. I think it gives us a chance to hone in on some characters while we revisit some characters that we've seen before. And I think it's going to take the show to another level.
I want to see you try to get Lane on camera.
Lane?
Yes.
Holman? Or who are you talking about?
Swatek.
Oh, Swatek. Okay. Yeah. Man, I
want
to know.
This kid avoids the camera like the plague. And we're coming for you, Lane.
Oh, speaking of kids that avoid the camera, Landon McNabb, oldest brother of the McNabb boys, older brother of the McNabb boys, runs only at Clinton.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy when you start really looking at the Outrider. You very, very quickly get a lot of cool stories that develop there. So stick around, put it in the comments below. Who do you think is the model Outrider that you'd like to see more story on? All right, well, let's get to our special guest for today. We have Jeff Clark in the waiting room. He is from Sue's Pawn Express. That's a Big Mules team. And he is, one of these days, he's going to be called, he might be the granddaddy of the Southeastern Conference of Chuckwagon Racing. Who knows? A million names come to mind. His legacy is just getting started with this Southeastern Association. So let's welcome in Jeff Clark from the Southeastern Chuckwagon Racing Association, or as some of you know him, Sue's Pawn Express. Yeah, we've got a good connection. All right.
I told you.
He's got fiber.
We have fiber here, and so we shouldn't have a problem, guys.
Cool. That's awesome.
And girls.
I love it.
Sorry, Savannah.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'm used to getting lumped in with these gentlemen.
She's just
all
one
the
of the
time.
guys at this point.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would
Lady
not
and
be the
gentlemen.
first time in my life I felt like that. Been one of the guys for a while. I'm just a lot prettier.
Oh, okay. It's because of the beard,
Right.
isn't it?
Well, actually, I don't know. I may be competing here with Andy because he's got a real pretty beard.
Oh, okay.
Jeff, there's been a little beard
I don't have
talk
a
on
thing.
today's show.
Has there been? Okay.
Yeah, so thanks for showing up, well groomed, looking great.
Well, thanks, sir.
Andy got his beard worked on this morning, and I obviously have not had mine worked on in weeks now, so I'm the burliest I've ever been. We're just going to put it that way, and I'm wearing it proud until my wife says it's got to change. So I'm going for it. Well, Jeff, welcome into the show. Welcome to the CWC podcast. We're excited to have you here. You're getting a different intro than you would have probably had a couple months ago when we would have said Jeff Clark with Sue's Pawn Express. Now we're talking about the founder of the Southeast Chuckwagon Racing Association.
Yes, sir.
And so we're excited to talk about that. But we do have a race right in front of us here that you're very familiar with. It's probably not quite as far of a drive for you to get to Seven Springs Lodge as some other people. So how long have you been going to the Seven Springs Lodge race? I guess it's Frontier Days in Tuscumbia, Alabama.
Yes.
How long have you been going there? Can you tell me a little bit about this race?
Pretty much since the inception. We trail rode there several years before the races came. So Danny and Faye have been a part of that since, for years now, the trail riding aspect of it. So when the races came, it was just something else to look and see. And I actually didn't go to my first race there. That was a afterthought whenever I was at the first race. No, I wasn't. My first race was actually we'd heard about Clinton several years prior and went to that as our first race. And then I was at Seven Springs for their first race.
Okay. So how long has that race been going on at Seven Springs? I mean, it's like 12 plus years, isn't it?
It's been going on a while now. I can't name the first year, but it's been going on 13, 14 maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. And then Danny Foster, you mentioned Danny and Faye there. So Danny Foster, he's the guy behind the scenes there. He puts it on and everything.
Yep.
Talked with him the other day. How would you describe that man to somebody that's never met Danny Foster?
Oh, wow. He's much like myself. He's a big guy. It looks a little scary and intimidating at first, but he's just a big old teddy bear. He wants everybody to have a good time. And it shows in what he does down there. Y'all've been there. You know what I'm talking about. Seven Springs Lodge, the Rattlesnake Saloon. It's just an awesome place to be. Everybody loves the track. The track's visible from anywhere you sit. So you don't lose contact with your racers as you go around, and you have these people that pick these teams that are not racers. I mean, fans, they pick these teams and they want to cheer for them, and they get to see the whole event.
Yeah. Oh, it's different there. It's not like any other track. That's for sure.
And that track can, we run, it can be ran in the mud or it can be ran on dry. It doesn't matter. That track is a good track. And I think all the racers love that track. I know we do as a Sue's Pond group. We've always loved that track.
Yeah, and I bet if you're running mules, you like it because you get to run a hill there. You get to run a pretty good hill, and it's like in the worst place on the track. It's if you don't have lungs, you're not gonna win at that track.
Yeah.
It's the last curve of the track is just a big old uphill push, and when I'm flying the drone, sometimes I'll get a little bit behind the race, and they'll take off and they'll get out ahead of me. And then I'm like, it's fine because on this track, I'm going to catch up to them on that uphill. And then I'm going to have to take my, what am I trying to say here, Andy? Trying to
elevation.
My altitude elevation. Yeah. I got to go up while I'm flying forward and slowing down. And it's always a weird thing flying toward that last curve because you catch up and then you also get down on everybody because they're all coming uphill to meet you, slowing down. Yeah, it's a neat track. I would definitely say I could see where drivers would have a lot of fun out there. And like you said, I think the vantage point is good from anywhere out there.
It doesn't matter if you're on the far side, near side, or sitting there in front of the stage. It's all good.
Is the stage still on the side where the start line is?
Yes.
I was going to
say.
say.
It's a permanent stage.
Yeah.
It's a permanent foundations type stage on concrete blocks. And it's Danny, and he expanded the roping arena. So it's a full size roping arena now. So you can have any event you want to in there, from a calf roping, team roping, to bull riding or whatever. He's when I say he, I'm speaking of Danny. He's went above and beyond, and he's always treated us racers with the utmost respect. So my hat's off to Danny and Faye. Danny, he puts on a show. He is a showman, and he knows how to do it, but he also does a lot of advertising. He puts this thing out there and lets people know it's coming to town. And David, y'all can probably all three attest to this in the crowds that you see. It's spectator row is always full. Up the hill along the rope that we put up is always full. It's he has a pretty good crowd there every year, and I would expect no different in 2 weeks when we're there.
Right. Yeah. I think it's a staple for the people that come back there every year. Last year it was just raining like crazy all the way up until Friday before the races. And I showed up and Danny was just distraught about the weather. And I could just tell he was down, and everybody showed up and showed out, and it was a beautiful weekend. And when we got to Sunday, by the time I was saying goodbye to Danny, he was just the happiest guy on the ranch. I mean, he was just so excited. Just you couldn't see anybody more happy than that guy at that point in time, because everybody just showed up, and you just tell it filled his glass right up. He was back on cloud 9 right after all that. It was awesome.
Mhm. Well, would you be able to talk a little bit about this year's event lineup? Do we have any new changes or adjustments from last year?
No new changes that I know of. Now, that could happen when we get there, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't know of anything new that'll change for the ACWRA when we get there. It's still your 8 events, and we're around our youth. I don't know that they've mentioned anything about any 4-up stuff or anything, but you never know with racers. You can't ever tell.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I did see they were going to have a bull riding Friday night now instead of the full-fledged rodeo. So you've just got the exciting thing that most people are kind of sticking around waiting for. And then they were doing the extreme cowgirl competition again, which I am personally pretty excited to see. Last year, there was a girl who, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but when they were doing the race around the track, there was this one girl where they had called her 2 or 3 times and she didn't come up to the line. So they ended up starting without her. And then you just see her come flying in out of nowhere when everybody else was already at the halfway point unsaddling their horse. And she actually ends up taking home 2nd place. For whatever reason, that just stuck with me. And she was also the only rider that was actually like full-fledged running her horse bareback. I was impressed. I think that's pretty cool. One for the women,
There you go.
Yeah, it was a neat
Someone needs to get her as an outrider. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the amenities that Seven Springs has that make it unique from other venues.
First and foremost, bathhouses.
There you go. That's a good one.
They have full in the center silo. They have 4 full bathrooms that have walk-in showers. Have the commodes, sink, and everything. So a lot of these races, if some of us that have the living quarters trailers, we're able to take a nice shower and all that. But some of the other ones don't have the opportunity to do that if there's no showers available. And those are available to use at Seven Springs. The Rattlesnake Saloon. You don't have to worry about cooking. You don't have to worry about cleaning up your mess. Hey, jump in the truck or walk down either one and go down to Danny's restaurant down there and eat, and come back with your belly full.
That place is gorgeous.
For those of you that have not been there and seen that is a really unique situation. It is literally in a cave. And it's not like just a little, like it's a huge cave, but they dance in there. Like it's
a live band, and the dance floor is under the cave, and let's face it, the whole restaurant is under there.
Yeah, it's crazy to think you could go out there to Seven Springs and you could, if you didn't know that it's down there, you'd never see it. You would never You could literally go to the Chuckwagon race and come out of there and then later hear about the Rattlesnake Saloon, and you never would have known because it's tucked down around this hill down in this cave, and it's so neat. If you go out there, make sure you at least walk over there and walk down the hill and see it, because it's really cool. And it's not just like the people that are at the event are there. People are coming from all over and dining there. So it's just one of those things that makes that venue different.
Out next to the road, you have the public parking for just the restaurant only, and it stays full. And if I could say anything to anybody that's coming, it's come early and stay late. Don't rush. Enjoy the day, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the place, and then eat a good meal before you leave. Don't come and be in a rush, because there's so much to do there. And as far as that goes, come early and walk around, talk to some of us racers. Get involved, ask questions. That's what we're there for. We're there to grow this sport and let people know what it's all about.
Yeah. Speaking of, and I know we're bugging you. For anybody that's wondering, why are we bugging Jeff about that venue? Well, with this new association, we're coming back to the Seven Springs Lodge or there in Tuscumbia, and there's going to be another event later this year, and this is a new event. So talk about what that's supposed to look like. How is that going to be different whenever we come back under maybe the SCWRA, and how that maybe changes things a little bit?
Well, I don't see it being a whole huge change. The whole goal of this whole deal is to parallel, if you will, ACWRA. And if we go to throwing a bunch of rule changes, and you're going to see a few changes made, but they're going to be very few and very small. Because, let's face it, I still want to race ACWRA as well. And so I can't be thinking what rule applies here and what rule applies there. So, so we want to keep this as sensible and as easy as possible. So as far as any big changes, the only difference is we're going to pay money. That's something the racers don't get a lot of opportunity to win, and that's cash.
Yeah, it's super interesting. So one of the things that you want to tackle with the SCWRA is you're thinking that there will be bigger prize type payouts.
No.
So it would be
No. Don't take that wrong. Once we get into the 2027 season, it'll be your buckles, your prizes, and all that. I just wanted to do something for 2026 to let this new crowd and any new racers that come along understand and see how this association is going to run.
Gotcha.
So
Cool.
I wanted, if you don't give them an opportunity, they don't know. So there's no membership needed. There is nothing out of pocket other than an entry fee when you get there. So you just show up and race at these two money races, and give us some feedback as racers. Do you like what we're doing? Do you not like what we're doing? Do we need to make any changes before we go into a full-fledged season of 2027?
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know how much you feel like you can share here, or even how much you really know here yet. But as far as creating another association, getting kind of to the heart of it all here, this is what we're looking is east of the Mississippi River. There's kind of this other world of there's these tracks, there are racers out there. We've got to expand in a certain direction. I feel like that is naturally where the sport should expand to. And so kind of going back to how this all started, what was the maybe what was the inspiration for you, and then where did you see the potential for it?
It all started a year and a half ago for me when I started asking questions. Why don't we have an association east of the Mississippi? Why does everybody have to drive like myself? Every race is almost 400 miles away, one way. And so what it became was is there interest? So as I travel around, and I'm in lots of places. So as I travel around, I started asking people, and people are, what is that? So you show them a video, and they're like, God, we need that here. And it just became a year and a half of basically research, and I say research, it's just talking to people, letting them know. And 45 minutes east of me here, we have the walking horse celebration that lasts 10 days. Then we have a mule celebration that lasts 5. And these folks have never even heard of a Chuckwagon race, and they celebrate the mule for 5 days over there. And there's opportunities for more teams and more tracks, and that's the inspiration behind it, is to give people opportunities and show people what's out here.
Okay. So what have you got like on the books so far, and what kind of like new tracks and new races are we looking at for maybe 27 even?
Well, we could be, I'm not going to give all the information out, but we could be in South Alabama. We can be below Birmingham. We could be north. I'm not going to share a lot right now with what's there, because I'll tell you this, there is so much interest. It's going to be pick and choose.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a good problem to have.
It's unreal at the phone calls I have gotten since this went out. And I'm talking about 45-minute phone calls is explaining to me why we should have a race there. And
that is awesome.
Nice.
I've had a couple of Chamber of Commerce's reach out and say, hey, we would love to have a race. And I'm like, in your town? And they're like, yeah, we've seen this and we've been YouTubing it. And I'm like, you're crazy, but people are starved for something new. in this general area. And I say general area, you know, your Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, all the way into Florida and your Carolinas, Eastern Kentucky. It's people are starved for something different in this chuckwagon race. We're so used to it, it's nothing to all of us. But we're somebody that's never even seen it, and they think we're the craziest people that ever walked on earth. You know,
well,
they can't wait to buy a ticket and get in the gate.
Right.
Well, there may be some truth to that that crazy talk, Jeff.
I wouldn't call it wrong.
Well, let me ask you this, y'all. What if the Southeastern Association had 100 teams, Arkansas has 100 teams, and we have a big East meets the West?
I was already going there. I was already going to say
what
that.
a race.
I was already going to ask that question.
Oh, it'd be so great. And I love that you have so many fresh ideas and that you're willing to go and chase some of these things, because it does take a person that can be that lightning rod for one of these movements to happen. And so
yes, it does.
It's just so great to see it. And so when you talk about well, let me go back just a little bit here. So we have another race this year, right? So we've kind of mentioned we've got 7 Springs, and we're coming back, and that's September, right? Mid-September.
That'll be the 18th, 19th, 20th of September.
But what's the other race? And I want to know, what was your inspiration on this Buffalo River race? Why don't you talk about the location on that a little bit and why that's happening?
The Buffalo River race, Chris Troll, super good guy, has kind of wanted to race for a year or two, and it just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. And I reached out to him and said, hey, I'm starting this new association. What about a money race? He said, heck yeah, I'm in. So we went over and spent a little time with him and his crew, and this thing just it's grown. I'm really looking forward to that, and we have water galore, so bring your swimsuits. You know, they've got cabins, they've got canoe rentals, they got tube rentals. You can take a bus and go around up top and drift all the way back to camp. You can do anything on the water there you can do, and it's going to be a fun place to be.
Yeah, full on Buffalo River Resorts Outfitters, or whatever they called the float piece there. So yeah, that was speaking with, I think it was Nikki. Is that right? Yeah, she was super nice. I think she's the person that you're going to hear from if you call the number that you guys have on your Facebook page there, on the SCWRA Facebook page. And they're super, I mean, they are so excited to have a race there. I thought that was just really neat to kind of.
But I got a feeling they don't understand what's coming.
I just briefly kind of spoke with her. You know, I was just saying, well, make sure your local vendors, you know, your local stores and stuff know. And she says, we're telling them, like, we're letting them know. And so it's pretty cool to see what will happen there in the community. I hope it's a huge impact for the community there. And how close are you to that resort?
I'm an hour and a half.
Okay, so it's pretty close to home
in your
for you.
backyard.
Yeah. Well, Seven Springs is 68 miles. You know, so it's you know, those are ideal places for me, but that's as close as I get to home. You know.
Yeah.
So the rest of them are 400 plus miles nearly.
So there were some rumors last year, or early, maybe even last year. I was hearing about maybe like a South Carolina type race or something like that. Was that something that was involved with this?
No, not with me.
Okay. Okay.
We've been reached out to by several people, but well, even I've been watching your podcast, you know, and you've talked about the Southeast, and I'm going, shut up, David, wait a minute, because I'm getting ready to announce this, and you know, you made mention of Mason and them up there wanting to have a race in Edge, Virginia. It's
Mason Platsky, Maryland, Maryland.
Very good guy. So you know, I've just been kind of biting my tongue until I can get this thing out in public. So it's we're open to going a lot of places, but it's to introduce chuckwagon racing to a new set of people, and that's not only audiences, that's your racers as well.
Yeah,
you'll see several teams over at this race at Buffalo that you've never seen before.
Oh, cool.
But because it's local enough that they'll be there.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the phone calls I'm getting. Hey, what do you have to have a membership or whatever? And again, I'm gonna stress that There is no membership fee for the Buffalo River race or the Seven Springs race this year. These are just money races. I'm not going to call them outlaw races, but that's almost basically what they are. But that's showing, that's going to let everybody see how we operate, what we do, how we're set up. And basically, like I said, it's going to parallel ACWRA. And that way nobody has to guess and wonder. Well, there'll be some slight modifications, but very little.
Okay. So what challenges have you been presented with so far in all of this?
Oh my God, Savannah, finding time.
I think that's something we can all relate to.
Yeah.
I've talked about this for a year and a half, but once you throw it out there and the commitment's made, you have to follow through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no different than a golf swing or a bat swing or anything else. If you don't follow through, you don't have much. So I've got both shoulders against it. I'm gonna push this thing through, and I'm gonna see it through.
Right
we'll
on.
Get once we get through this first year of 2027, it'll kind of be like the ACWR. We'll turn it over to the members, and everything will take off.
Yeah. Love that.
I just want a place for everybody to be treated fair. Not saying there hasn't been, but that's our goal is just carry this tradition on, carry the heritage on, show our kids the right way. It's a historic event, and what we do is from hundreds of years ago. The whole horse stuff, hooking them up, working them. Let's keep that alive, but let's also keep the heritage alive, and that's. The respectful cowboy, the respectful wife, and the respectful kids that come in your camp and say please and thank you, and you know that's what I want to pass along.
Sure,
yeah.
Just overall good morals and strong standings.
Right.
Well, and the direction that you're going there is kind of leading me to what I was going to ask next. Is like what opportunities are you hoping that this will bring to Chuckwagon racing in general?
Oh, the opportunities, Andy, are endless for as people. Like I said a while ago, I think you're going to see several new teams jump in that's going to be with this association that either won't or can't go as far as Arkansas. But back to what I said earlier, if we had that one time a year where we had to have East meets the West and all of us got together, that could be huge. The creme de la creme, if you will, or the holy grail of Chuckwagon racing.
Yeah, when you were talking about keeping the rules as similar as possible a while ago, that's the direction my mind was going. When you were saying that, I was going, man, like if you did keep them as compatible as possible, then that leaves you open for a showdown at the end of the season. Like that, that would
like
be
I said, you're
really
going to
cool.
have some of the bunch, including myself. I'll be at Rattlesnake Saloon racing at ACWRA. But we just don't want it to be hard to figure out, complicated, if you will. What's the old term? KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So, I'm going to live by that. We're going to keep it pretty simple.
So you've got 2 races this year that you guys are framing up. I feel like you've got some stuff in the queue for next year.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not going to share all of it with us today, but I would like to know. Let's just fast forward 12 months into this thing. What does success look like to you with the SCWRA?
If we make it a year, David, it'll be successful. But
yeah,
in the end, when we in the end of 2027, and I'm going out that far because that's when I'm going to turn it over to the members to vote their own officers in, to do everything. When we get to there, if we've got 100 members and 40 race teams, it'd be success to me. I'm just looking for the ones that's there to be happy with what I've presented, and good word will spread. It's infectious. Yeah. It's something that'll grow. Nobody's expecting 100 teams overnight, especially not myself anyway. But if it's kind of like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they'll come. And I honestly believe if you build it right, they will come.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like you got to build it right. You've got to build it right, and you have to have a production. And that's the thing that I think we've seen a lot of races come and go, even in the last handful of years here. And there's so many boxes that you have to check when you put on one of these races. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not simple to just go out and say, hey, here's a field, let's all just go run. Like, it takes some serious planning and stuff. And so I think that it's good that somebody that has experience, a lot of experience in chuckwagon racing, that can kind of spearhead this. And I love your heart behind it. Whenever you think about,
David, I can't express how much I'm looking forward to this next year. I just can't express it. It's a goal for me to see this thing grow and get bigger and share the love of the sport, grow the sport. That's what the whole thing's about to begin with. Let's give this thing to some people that never seen it before and see the smiles on their faces.
Well, that segues right into our next question. What does it mean to you personally to have a hand in bringing both, these new events to life and just this association in general to a different part of the United States?
Well, personally, I'll back up just a little. Mr. John Willard introduced me to this sport. I was a calf roper through high school, a team roper after that, a timed events kind of guy. And Mr. John Willard is the one that taught me into coming to Clinton for my very first ever race. And, I owe him a gratitude of thanks, but, or I don't know if I could kick his tail. I don't know which one, but it sure is a lot of fun doing it. But it's the gratitude for me would just seeing everybody happy. I like to see people smile. I want to see racers leave the track and go, damn, wasn't that a good race? Or wasn't it a good time? Or we didn't feel like we were mishandled or misused or misplaced. The goal of this thing is and I know you can't make everybody happy. I understand that.
No.
But we can make 90% of them happy.
Right.
And if we can build on that 90% and get to 92 and 95 or 97, then let's do that. But that's going to be 2 or 3 years in the making to get to where we're kind of pleasing everybody.
Yeah, I think with anyone who does any big project, and this is a huge one, is like goal number one is survive.
Right.
Like
I certainly agree, Andy. I certainly agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, we kind of talk about all the things that go into making a race successful. Obviously, you've got production, you've got planning, you've got having water and all the amenities and all these things. Not to mention, you just need the racers to show up and the people to show up. But I think it's interesting to kind of step back, and I like talking about like a new race coming in. I love that brainstorm phase, which I know you're kind of there with some of this stuff right now for sure. But I feel like one thing we have now that we didn't have even say 10 years ago, I feel like we have a lot of these interesting blueprints or these proof of concept or these case studies from all these other tracks that have made it to 8, 9, 10 years and beyond now that you can learn a lot from. And even 20 years into this, I think there was still, because this really, let's just say everything starts in 86 with the national championships. And in the 90s, we see an association formed, right?
Right.
And then for another, just call it 20 years, there was a lot of trial and error and people trying to fire it up, people trying to be like Clinton, people trying to do it their own way or change the rules or whatever it may be. But now we see stuff that's sticking to the wall. And so, so what do you think maybe 1, 2, 3 things are that that you've got to do with a new race now that maybe people didn't know 10, 20 years ago that you're going to try to do to make these races successful?
I think you said that earlier. Make sure these track owners understand what's coming.
Yeah.
And get them clued in to what to expect. And one of the things you mentioned a while ago too, Dave, was water. I didn't realize water would be so hard to get at some of these tracks, some of these places that are calling. I said, well, how much access to water you got? And I said, if you're going to use public, I need at least a 2-inch line, because we need to fill tanks quickly. People don't need to sit there 8 hours to get a tank of water.
Right.
And, some of these towns are asking $10,000 for a 2-inch water tap. And so, and then some of these guys are saying, well, I just ain't gonna spend that. Well, okay, that's fine. Move on to the next one.
Right.
And then some of them already have access to that. So it's
right.
there's challenges any way you look, any which way you go. It's just how you handle them is what's going to make the difference.
Gosh, and I feel like what it's speaking to me a little bit, or what it's saying to me a little bit, is that, hey, treat it like a business. It's not, and not in the way of like, hey, you got to screw people or you have to nickel and dime people. It's that you have to treat it like a business that is not going to, you're not going to be successful overnight, and you're not going to be truly successful in year one. You could have a fantastic year one that shows everybody that you proved yourself. But I don't think that success comes in year one, no matter how you look at it, because year two and year three present new challenges. And you really, if you are pouring into it what you should, I don't think you're going to see a true financial success if you're really investing properly for a couple of years at least.
No, that's all this so far has been out of my pocket. When I made a commitment, I made a 100% commitment, from the attorneys doing the paperwork to the traveling I've done, the fuel I've put in the tank, to the nights I've stayed in the motel room. All that's out of my pocket. And I'm not complaining about that, and I'm not bragging about it, but somebody has to carry the torch. And I don't know if I'm self-elected or just crazy enough to do it, but I said, by George, we're going to do this. So, I put my marching boots on and I went and started marching.
Well, I think it takes a lot of things from a person, but what I love as much as anything from you, Jeff, is that you just have a great attitude. I just really appreciate that, and I think that it's infectious. I think that people around you, when they hear you speak, they get excited. I know I do, and we're really excited for what's coming this next year. So I got two last things I want to ask. If you guys have anything, jump in. The first thing being, give us something we don't know yet, Jeff. I want to know. Give me a state. Give me something that tells me something that we don't know yet about something coming in 2027.
Well, how about part of what we're going to handle our races? How about that?
Okay,
that works.
All finishes will be video finishes.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, we like that.
That's big.
You wanted something, there you got it.
Okay.
I like it.
So we're looking at some video finishes. We're looking at maybe a little more attention to making sure that it's professionalized on that side of things.
Oh yeah. We want it to be professional, but we want this association to be classy. And I'm going to demand it. That's not an option for the Southeastern Association. We want to stay classy. We want towns that when we leave towns, for them to say we had a good group of people here. So we're gonna stay on that level, and we're gonna keep moving that way, and that's the way I see it.
Love that. I love that attitude. That speaks volumes to me. So maybe even kind of in that same vein, last question here from me at least. What do you want to tell people who are hearing about Chuckwagon racing and they're hearing about the Southeast Association? What do you want to tell them as far as what to expect going late 26 and into 27 in the Southeast Association? What do you want to leave people with?
If you like excitement, if you like fun, and you like edge of the seat excitement, if you will, come to a Chuckwagon race. The chair may be gone, but just get out of the way.
Man, a certain incident at a certain race last fall comes to mind immediately when you say that.
Mate. I think we had that one year down at Seven Springs. They cleared the whole rope up through there.
I believe
it happens. It'll happen. Yeah. Our friends from Canada can tell you that.
Yeah.
They got the rental car clobbered.
Hey, and y'all don't forget about our 3 tracks, 1 mission. I mean, that's what part of this association's about. Is the association is going to promote tracks. We're going to promote racers. We're going to let people know we're behind them.
Yeah, and so go ahead and elaborate on that real quick. You said 3 tracks, 1 mission. Are you referring to the to that cash piece that's going on between the 3 different races?
That's correct. Go
ahead and explain that briefly for me.
Okay. Whiskey Ridge, Miss Cindy and Todd, myself at Buffalo River, and the Trent Little and his gang at RLO2. That is what we done is we pull some money together. So there's no entry fee. There's nothing that you have to do other than be at all 3 races and have a qualified run at all 3 races. And your name goes in the hat for the 1250, 950, and 550 drawing. Now, if you have a race, you're there and have a non-qualified race, then you'll drop back into the bottom drawing.
Okay, so you can't win the top one. So if let's say you qualified in 2 races, qualified time at 2 races, then you drop out of that top tier. You can't win the top prize.
Right.
Okay,
So you'll
makes
drop
sense.
back into the 250 drawing. But if you show up at all 3, you have a qualified time at all 3, your name will go in the pot one time, and that way everybody has a fair chance.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's name that qualified at all 3 races will go in there one time at RLO2.
Okay.
We will draw those names out, and like I said, 1250, 950, and 550 ain't no bad numbers for not having put nothing in.
Mm-mm.
That's pretty awesome.
You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Where else
if
have you
nothing
seen
else,
that give back to racers?
Yeah, no, I mean, if
Yeah.
nothing else, that just really kind of shows the heart of what you're trying to accomplish, high level, with everything you're
Right.
doing, and I think it's beautiful.
But
so
you got to thank people like Whiskey Ridge and the little bunch down there as well for wanting to even be a part of that. You know, the Whiskey Ridge Ranch has been out, what, 10 or 11 years for it. Isn't it about that long?
yeah, they're pushing 9 or 10.
something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but you know,
I believe
they
this
do
year's
a
year 9.
tremendous job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, Cindy and Todd do a tremendous job, Mr. Carl and
Mhm.
Marty, and
Yeah.
they wanted to be a part of this, and we wanted to be a part of it, and the Littles did, and I just think it's a neat deal to give back to the racers.
I
Yeah,
agree.
absolutely. For those that travel that much, I
You
mean,
bet.
that's just
You bet.
a good show of appreciation for doing that. I mean,
You
because
bet.
it's not
Us
nothing
3
to
tracks
do that.
decided to get together, and I say us. I'm representing the Buffalo River Dash for Cash, but it's something we can give back to the racers at no extra cost to them. It's something they just got to show up and race and have a qualified time, and their name goes in there one time if they have all 3 qualified races at all 3, and who knows who's going to get drawn out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, but
Well, I love it.
your odds are good though.
They're
I
equal
mean,
to everybody else's
Yeah.
because nobody's in there multiple times. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I just love that that's like getting back to the heart of just being a participant, how important that piece is and what it means to be acknowledged just for
You
participating.
bet.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that goes all the way. To me, that goes back to even the heart of why Clinton has been successful.
bet.
You know,
Mm.
so they've kept the money out of it. You know, that's maybe obviously you need money to come into it for something that's going to be season long. It's a different animal.
Mhm.
But at the heart of what Clinton is, you know, it is not built on the money. It's built on what you get for being a participant, and that's fulfilling. And so by having something from an incentive standpoint that just rewards participation, I
Mhm.
think it's beautiful. I think it's on brand, if you will, for what the sport is. So I love that you're doing that. I commend you for that for sure.
We want our racers to enjoy coming. We want our racers to have a chance to win something besides a buckle or a bucket or whatever else. It's a and I think it's a statement from all 3 tracks saying, hey, we're on board with whoever wants to race. That's the whole point. Whoever wants to race, bring it and let's race them.
Well, I love it, man. Is there anything else that we should have you take the floor for 2 more seconds before we let you out of here?
I'm
Well-
good. I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to share the Southeastern with y'all, and look forward to the coming months.
And where can people find more information on both the new association as well as this this next upcoming race?
We're going to Seven Springs Lodge, and then mine would be the Southeastern Facebook page.
And what about the Buffalo River race for anybody who's interested in attending?
Well, if you'll look on our Facebook page, their number is on our Facebook page. You
Okay.
can call Nikki over there and that gang, and they will take care of you. And
Awesome.
my number's on the Facebook page. You're welcome to call my number if you have questions about the association or the race, either one. We'll get you answers.
Awesome.
Yeah, but be ready to talk for a while if you call Jeff Clark. I'm just warning you.
Come on, David.
That's fine.
All right, man. Hey, we appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks so much for taking the time
You
just to
bet.
be on here to talk about what you're doing. And more than anything, just thank you for going and chasing a dream, because I think it means a lot to everybody that's going to be able to follow in this trail that you're blazing, man.
It is a dream, and we're gonna see it through.
There it is for you. Jeff Clark, the founder of the Southeastern Chuckwagon Racing Association. He's building a bridge from Arkansas right over the Mississippi River, and goodness, it's not a dream, it's not a conversation, it's something that's really happening. So that's exciting, and I am very excited for it. This is the kind of thing that, for someone that that's been involved with the sport for a long time, and you've kind of seen tracks come and go, you've seen a lot of the conversations or the ideas that people put out there. It's so cool to see something come to fruition like this. So exciting. Savannah, what's the news on this other piece here?
So it looks like the bull riding that was mentioned a little bit earlier in the episode, Friday, April 24th at Tuscumbia, Alabama, will have $500 added to the pot, which sounds awesome if you were a bull rider. It will be called Thunder in the Snake Den Bull Riding, which just sounds really cool.
Yeah. So if you think you could be a bull rider,
just show up, have your long sleeve shirt and hat on, and you're good to go, I think.
Yeah, any given Sunday, as they say.
That is a sick name for a bull ride. I'm just saying.
Right. Armband pricing will be listed on the Seven Springs Lodge Facebook page, along with their day pass and day pass refund information. That is worth checking out if you don't think you'll be there the full time. Don't forget to go and check out the Rattlesnake Saloon while you're down there. We did make it down there, actually. Maybe David didn't, but I got to walk down and at least put eyes on it for the very first time, since it was my first time to go to Tuscumbia last year. And the walk down was gorgeous. The restaurant itself was gorgeous. I was impressed. And then if you're facing away, like outside of the mouth of the cave, you're looking at, a little bit of a creek spring bed situation.
Like
it's
a
just
little ravine.
It's neat.
Yeah,
it is really
like we
neat.
said earlier, like David said earlier, you can go in there and leave and never know it was there. When you go in that front gate, if you don't keep your eyes peeled to the right and see that little hole in the trees
to just walk down. Yeah.
You would never know until you go down there.
Man.
Yeah, it's a cool deal. Well, that wraps it up for today. Make sure you get over to chuckwagonchannel.com, subscribe, relive the ride, and we'll be back next week talking about Tuscumbia. So in the meantime, we will see you out on the track.
Thanks for listening to the CWC podcast.